It is the sport of kings, but in Kenya today, there is international professional polo player. Before you ask me, who is he? Find out with me as we live out loud with Martin Waiganjo next. Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. This is the channel to be, so I hope you've clicked on subscribe. Remember to also hit notifications so you never miss on a super episode, if I do say so myself. My name is Sheila Mwanyega and we are living out loud at Westwood Hotel, and we are joined by professional polo player in Kenya today. So let's get to this with Martin Waiganjo. How are you? Thank you so much for making the time to be here. I need to know a little bit more about you before we talk all things polo. So tell us a little bit about Martin.
Well, Martin, I was born in Gilgil, up in Nakuru County, and that's where I learned how to ride. Because our neighbor used to have a lot of horses, so I was going to his farm, and
riding the horses, and then one thing led to another, and those are the things you're going to tell us about. So take us back to why horses? Why not farming, for instance?
At home, there's a polo club. There's a polo club called Manyata Polo Club.
Yeah.
So I used to watch polo when I was little. Started watching polo at the age of 6 years. And I grew up around polo, and around horses. And so when I learned how to ride, then I started learning how to stick and ball, like how to play polo. And I also learned how to make a polo horse.
Yeah.
Because you have to teach a horse how to play polo before you play it.
Yeah, because horses just clippity-clop everywhere. They don't understand the polo, so you've got to train the horses.
You've got to train them.
So you know how to do that too?
Yeah, I'm a professional on that and polo.
Okay.
So, because I liked horses, and it's, when you teach a horse how to play and you see it perform in the polo pitch with somebody else riding it,
Yeah.
really makes you feel
special.
happy. Yeah, and you feel happy.
Now, when I think about professional polo players, it wasn't until a friend of mine told me about you, but it's the kind of sport that is associated with very affluent people, and it's not an ordinary everyday thing. It's not like soccer that everybody played.
Yeah.
It's an affluent kind of sport. It is even referred to as the sport of kings. So what happens for a simple boy from Gilgil making that transition and becoming what you are today? Someone must have seen something in you to say, this guy, there's something going on here. Let's invest in him and let his passion grow into what it is today. Tell us about people who helped you get to where you are today.
First is the person who taught me to ride, who is our neighbor back home. And when he saw I have potential, he continued teaching me, and he taught me how to play polo. And then I've met a lot of people, a lot of professionals from South Africa, Argentina, and they've taught me a lot. And I've learned a lot, how to play polo, how to train a horse, and even how to teach people how to play polo.
You
I
can
also
do that
give
as
lessons,
well. All right. Now, it's one thing to play polo in Kenya, but on an international stage, how did that happen?
Well, first I went to South Africa. I was invited by my friend. We went there and we just played a few polo, and I also doing horses, like training horses. The horses are very important in polo. They play like 80% of the game, so it's very important they get proper training. And most of my work is to make horses and play polo. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so South Africa, how was that for you? Was it the first time you traveled outside Kenya?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that experience like?
Well, it was a good experience because I meet very nice people, and I learn a lot because their polo is quite high, and they're good. So I learn a lot. Yeah.
All right, understanding polo, because most of us don't know how it works. We just know that they're men on the horse and it looks like hockey on a horse, really, when
Yeah.
you think about it. How does it work? Brief explanation of polo.
Well, it's a big operation because one has to know how to ride, to learn how to ride. And
You can't
then
just waltz in and say, today is the day.
you first you learn how to ride,
Yeah.
and then you learn how to hit the ball. Then you learn the rules of polo. Yeah, and
And
then you can.
some of the rules would be don't stand on the horse or don't kick the horse. I don't know. What sort of rules do you
There's
work
tools
with?
like don't, like it's like when you're driving
Yeah.
and somebody crosses in front of you, then you're obviously gonna have an accident.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the rules. So there's a line of the ball and the light of way. So the person who's traveling the same direction where the ball is traveling, he has the light of that line. So you can't come across and just take that
Because
ball.
there's an animal involved as well. It's not just people
Yeah.
and one little ball and you're
Yeah.
running after it.
Yeah.
When you think about your growth as a polo player, what sort of challenges have you faced to get to where you are today?
There's a lot of challenges. For example, making up to play in a high goal, you really need you need support. You need people to support you, with good horses, and like traveling and stuff. So I have had a lot of people giving me that support, and it's quite a little bit challenging playing in a high goal, and you don't have your own horses. You have to be supported by somebody else.
Okay. Now, I know South Africa isn't the only place that you had the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
That was the first place for you. Getting to be an internationally ranked professional polo player, what did it take for you to get to that?
Because I played well, people supported me, and my game was like good because I had support and good horses, and I chose this to be my profession because I love horses and I love making horses. Making horses mostly, it's what I like,
Right.
and that's what made me become professional because I'll make horses for people who don't have time to make their own horses, and they like the horses I make, and yes.
And it works. So, in becoming a professional player, is it a series of paces that you have to go through? Is it a number of competitions that you have to do so that you can now be ranked as a professional player? Or how does that work?
Anybody can be a professional by choosing to be a professional. But then you have to be good on what you do, good on riding and making horses and playing polo. Yeah, it's not like somebody will point to you and say, now you're a professional. And the polo community, it's a small community, and most of the people, they know each other. So if somebody needs someone like me, there'll be somebody to introduce me to them, and that's how it works.
We were talking about the challenges of being the professional polo player.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking one of the things would be you need to have horses. And horses are expensive. I mean, they're not like pro boxes where you can buy 5.
Yeah.
I think sometimes with a really good horse, the cost of one horse could be a little house somewhere. Do you have your own horses?
No, I don't have my own horses.
But
So,
you have a team of people who allow you access to their
yeah,
horses.
to their horses, yeah.
And it's not just anybody, and they obviously trust you
Yeah.
with their horses.
Yeah.
They don't just give them to
They
anyone,
don't
do
give
they?
them to anybody. That's
Yeah.
why you have to be good with, because horses are, to train them, it takes a lot of time and needs a lot of patience. So that's why you have to be knowing what you're doing
Okay.
to ride somebody else's horses.
Right.
Yeah.
Physically, what does it take out of you being a polo player? What does it ask for?
Well, you have to ride well, because if you don't ride well, then no one will give them, the horses to you. And you have to be able to play well as well.
Okay. Do you have to go to the gym and eat certain things and not eat like a weight thing? Do you have to be a certain weight so that the horses are looking at you like, hey,
No.
what's going on here?
No.
Right.
Yeah, but to play well, you have to be like,
Just be fit.
Yeah, just be fit, yeah. But mostly I do riding a lot, not gym.
And I hear riding really is gym all
It's
by
gym
itself.
all by itself, yeah.
So how about a typical day for you? What does it look like? At what time do you wake up?
Well, I wake up at 6 in the morning and go check the horses because you have to feed them early in the morning
Yeah.
and then give them some time to digest and then start exercising them. Yeah.
When you
so-
say exercising, it's sort of putting them through the paces.
Yeah, just making them fit. So there's exercising and
Yeah.
just teaching them, doing a little bit of stuff like schooling them to make them understand.
That this is now you're going to be a polo horse.
Yeah.
So this is how you're going to gallop. You can't
Yeah.
just clippity-cloppity yourself like this. There's some things you need to do and some things you don't.
Yeah, because polo is very fast and you need
Yeah.
the fast horses. And then also, when you ask them to stop, you want them to stop.
Respond quickly.
To respond quickly and
Okay.
to turn your direction quickly.
Right.
So you got to teach them all this stuff.
Let's talk injuries.
Yeah.
How bad can an injury be? Worst case scenario.
To a human or to a horse.
Before the horse, to a human. How bad can
But you
it
have
get?
protective gear. You have helmet, you have elbow guards,
Right.
knee guards. It's rarely people don't get injured, but you can get injured.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible to get injured, but you have to have all the gears to protect you.
And of course, by the time you're going to compete, you've had time to practice. You can't
Exactly.
I couldn't walk in and, get on a horse and now we're playing polo. You wouldn't even let that happen.
No, you have to practice, make sure your horses are fit and you're fit, and then you can play.
Okay. So I would like to see a scenario where there are many professional polo players in Kenya today. What do you think it would take for there to be more of you up in there representing Kenya, not just here, but globally?
Yeah, it's just the passion of doing it and the will of doing it. You need to have that will and you need to love the sport
Right.
and love the animals, be able to be ready to face the challenges of the horses, training horses. Yeah, yeah.
Should we expand? When we think about the sports ministry, we're always just thinking of athletics. We're a nation of runners, but we could be a nation of polo players as well. Don't you agree?
Yeah, we could.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Where the will is, anything can happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could.
It could happen, and you could train all these new breeds who would like to be the next professional players.
Exactly, yeah,
All right.
I could.
As we close, because you've spent so much time with us, and I don't want to keep you because you're running back to the horses and to put them through more paces and get ready for your next competition. Where can we look forward to seeing you? For anyone who's watching and is thinking, this is what I want and I want to connect with Martin, where can they find you?
I'm based up in North Kenya, in a polo club
Okay.
called North Kenya Polo Club.
So
Up
that's
in
the first
Nanyuki.
phone call to make. North Kenya Polo Club.
Yeah, I'm based up there.
Okay, so do you have social media there? Are you on Instagram and Facebook?
I'm on Facebook.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So now we've got a link that we can post for anybody who would like to contact you and make that connection with you and learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that you allow us to share that.
Yes.
You will?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Martin Waiganjo, we wish you all the very best. The doors remain open to living out loud with us. Thank you for making the time. Nasi utarudi tena?
Tarudi.
Na utatulete farasi kama tano?
Kama ine.
Kama nne. We're definitely going to hold him to that, but thank you for your time.
Asante sana.
Asante. Remember, you can check more of this conversation and find out more about Martin by logging on to my social media sites where we will also upload this interview. But for now, at Westwood Hotel, we gotta sign out. Martin Waiganjo, the man to watch. What a conversation, y'all. Boy, go and find a clippity-cloppity sometime soon. Anyway, he's promised me 4, so that's not a bad thing. Until the next episode, live out loud. Subscribe to this channel, click on notifications, and we'll see you soon.